After this video is about Gangs of London, a video game that I bought last year for the PSP, PlayStation Portable. Gangs of London plays very similar to those older GTA games, so GTA San Andreas, GTA Vice City, GTA 3. It also plays like some of those mobile games, right, where there'll be like some sort of crime city or like some based on like various gangs, right? Gangs of London, so this is more of like a mission to mission to mission type thing. It is more linear. There is no open world, right? But so basically, Gangs of London, you can choose your own faction, right? So there's various gangs, right? Chinese gang, there's the Middle Eastern gang, there's a black gang, there's the Irish gang, various other gangs, right? So yeah, and you basically choose your own faction. So you choose your own faction, whichever faction you choose, that's who you are, for that entire playthrough, right? So yeah, so you basically play the game through that faction's perspective, right? The cutscenes takes place in this unique graphic novel, a comic book, a type thing, right? So there'll be like these various dialogue and speech bubbles and all that, right? But yeah, the cutscenes though like were very unique, interesting, right? And dialogue, there's various dialogue. The dialogue though is basically telling you, like the backstory behind this mission or this gang or this character, and yeah, So playing the game, throughout the entire game, there'll be various objectives, right? Each mission basically has its main objective, right? Whether it be infiltrate, right? Escape, right? Attack, right? Sometimes too, there'll be other things too, like a hijack, and yeah. So there's different types of objectives, right? And your main objective, like, is to basically undermine the other gangs, as it's like this big rivalry, right, for a territory and all that, right? A competition, right? It's a faction system, so it's not a faction system like a Mercenaries 2, right? Mercenaries 2, you are the mercenary, but you're more of like a neutral factor, so you're more of the a mercenary in between. So you can go from faction to faction at the faction, right? A bribe up like with various factions. Here, basically, you are one faction. You are that one faction, right? And then you have to fight the other factions, right? And yeah, but yeah, it is very fun, right? It is very fun, and again, this plays like an old GTA. So if you play like an older GTA or like one of those mobile type games, this game like is gonna play very similar after that, right? You're gonna enjoy the game, right? So yeah, there's shooting, there's driving, there's hijacking cars, there's meleeing, right? Some of the controls, I will say, the controls is not it's not the smoothest, right? Because it is an older game, 2007 or 06, so it is a very old game, right? But still, like for what it's able to do, right? And one of the main things, like with the PSP, right? The PSP, you only had one analog stick for the most part across all versions of like the PSP, the original PSP. I'm not talking about. I know recently, 2 months ago, they made the PlayStation Portal. The PSP is the original, so a PSP that came out 05, right? 2005. The PSP only had one analog stick, so naturally moving around the camera I was kind of difficult. Sometimes you had to use these buttons, other times you had to use these buttons. So again, that's the same thing here. Sometimes aiming your gun relative to the camera controls, it's not like the easiest, right? And yeah, but you can always download. You can download this game via, if there's a way to get to like a PSP Gangs of London simulator, right? Same type of idea with the other game, a Pursuit Force, right? Or a Siphon Filter, a Logan Shadow, right? But yeah, this game you are going to have to I find a way like around that, right? So yeah, Gangs of London as well. Gangs of London. Some missions are, you're gonna have various companions, right? You can always switch between these various companions, right? So whether it be a companion that might be carrying like some sort of assault rifle, like the other one that might carry like some sort of pistol or like some sort of a grenade, right? So yeah, you can always switch between these companions. And again, there is like some sort of a limitation, right? Once you choose like a certain gang, I believe I can only stay like with that gang, right? So And whether or not like you choose the a Chinese gang, right, or the Irish gang, or whatever they call, as Steel Brothers or whatever, a Middle Eastern a crew, but I can only choose whichever gang. I chose the one I forgot what they call. It's the one with the purple logo. If you play the game, like but it's they have like some sort of a purple logo, right? Each faction is actually limited, so each faction actually has like a color represented by them, right? So some one faction had yellow, another one had purple, another one had light blue, another one had red. And the red one, I believe, is for the Water Dragon, a Chinese faction. And yeah, I believe Gangs of London was actually a TV show. It was a TV show, I believe, or like some sort of drama series, right? So yeah, and this is in London, England. I played the game and I wondered, what would GTA game, like a sort of modern GTA game, look like in London, England, or like some sort of modern crime drama video game look like in England, right? You are driving like in the opposite side like of the road, so driving might be a little bit confusing, right? If you're in North America, but yeah, playing this game though, it really again, I think this all goes back to those early GTA experiences, right? And yeah, so in the moment, sometimes there's going to be various time trials and police chase sequences. You can even play as cops sometimes, right? So there's certain, there's one a side mission or some sort of side objective, a mission where you play these cops and you need to stop these rioters, right? You have to stop the rioters. It was a very cool, interesting concept, right? But yeah, there's also mini arcade mode. So there's one where there's line. You play as this line, but you can't overlap with each other. You can't overlap and you can't touch anything. There's another one where it's like darts, where you gotta, or you got the target board up and you gotta throw the darts at them, right? So, but yeah, Gangs of London. If you have the PSP and if you like those older GTA games, again, you like those type of GTA games, right? You will definitely like this one, right? And yeah, and again, it's like a PSP title. Lots of PSP games overlap like with PS2 games, right? So yeah. So Gangs of London, like, share, subscribe, PSP game. Thank you.